Hey everybody, this is Johann Gauthier, tribe leader and founder of HR Rockstars Tribe, and I'm really happy to be joined by a great friend of mine, Copeland Richards, tonight. Copeland is a friend I met in New York at the end of January, and here we are midpoint in 2014, and we're going to be hearing. This is going to be a conversation between him and I tonight, and hearing about Copeland, his plans, about where he is and where he's heading. And there's so much growth going on at Copeland's End right now, and we're just gonna pick up the conversation like we were doing, him and I, before the hangout. Copeland, how are you, man? I'm so happy that we're connected.
I'm awesome. I'm happy too. It's been a long time, but finally we're here. What happens is supposed to happen, so we're here now.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So what's cooking up your alley, my friend? I mean, I hear stuff that's going to happen in January. You are passionate
Yeah.
about open space.
Well, what we're actually, me and a friend of mine, we're creating this thing called the Heart Space Initiative, and what it's actually going to be is we're going to be going to 15 cities in the country next year, holding. It's basically going to be an open space experience. We're going to be using the magic of open space and self-organization to bring people together in these communities for the communities. Like, we watch the news all the time, and it almost seems like when you watch the news, they should put bad in front of it, because all the news on TV is usually bad news. But you and I both know that every single city that exists has people in it doing great things simply for the community, and that's the only reason why they're doing it. They're operating purely out of their heart space. So we're looking to find these people and other people, of course, and bring them together for the future of their community. The theme of the movement is going to be, how do we infuse peace, harmony, and high efficiency into the futures of our communities? So what I'm actually looking for, of course, is people who already have a pulse on the cities. Like, all of these people are out there and they're working basically as limbs. They are doing things for the city already. So all I'm looking to do with the magic of open space is create a heart space which will connect all of the limbs of the city, and then create a body basically of a collective light worker, so to speak, working in the communities for their own future. A lot of people will go to communities and will want to advocate, tell people what it is that's necessary, what they need to do, because of whatever experiences or experience that you may have had in the past. But like Harris, trying to self-organizing organism is futile and stupid. So I'm going into these communities with the understanding that everybody who lives in these communities already knows exactly what's necessary for these communities to thrive. So we're literally just going in there to start to open the space for this conversation to happen, so people can come together, put together action plans, or not, but we will be coming together and talking about the future of these communities. The goal is to create a worldwide grid or a worldwide network of spaces on the planet that are operating from the heart space, where people can come and truly live and use the universal power of love for their purpose and for their passion.
Yay! Oh my God! I what happens in these conversations is the more I listen to you, the more
Uh,
excited I get, and then it's a good thing I have a tan right now. But I think if the red could actually show, it actually is. I'm actually bursting right now. I'm so happy to hear you because like I met you when I met you in New York. I felt like, oh, this guy has something going here, and you are a passionate person. You are channeling wonderful energy, and the last time that we did hang out a couple of months ago, and I wrote this down here with the
I
cats.
remember the card.
I know you
Yes.
do. Wait, well, here it is. Yeah, he's laughing. So here's the silly cats talking to each other, and I wrote this down from you, by the way. You are a conduit of the universe. Recognize the beauty that is inherent in you. Act like your best child. And then before the hangout, you said there's so much spaces in the world. Let's just open more true love. And this, I mean, you are such a conduit of love for the universe. I mean, If you were next to me, I would give you a hug. And like Akim says to me, I genuinely love you.
And I appreciate it. The love is genuine and mutual.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so happy. So, um, one of the things I think, I mean, that resonates here for me in what you're saying is, well, other than like I was saying to you before the hangout from Daniel Pink's book, which is from Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, what's wrong with acting like your best child? And Mihaly was saying, well, adults start to get ashamed that what they're doing is childish. Well, guess what? Love is a free resource. Kindness is a free resource. And there's so many workplaces out there or organizations that are stuck in that the spirit is blocked. And I think that's, to me, I mean, open space is much about people, but also about sometimes you need to be channeling that energy. And I think, I mean, to me, you are definitely a conduit. You are a person that can open spaces for people to experience higher efficiency, as you're saying.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, people like what we don't understand. We're afraid of everything, like everything, and it's not our fault. We're not naturally scared. That's why, when as adults, we have to instill fear into our children because these kids are not scared of anything. Like we pass that fear on. These controls. You have to be afraid of being homeless. You have to be afraid of not getting a job. Be afraid. So because of all these fears, that's why we do what we do. And what I've learned is I've been speaking to a lot of kids out here in the Los Angeles area, and the saddest thing that I'm hearing that's completely universal, from 8th grade on, and even probably before, our children are thinking about what they need to do to make money. They are not thinking about what they like. They're not thinking about what they love. They're in school. They're miserable in school because we as adults are miserable in work. So we're teaching them that it's okay to be miserable in what you're doing. So now they're in school. They have to be there, and they're not spending any time at all in their childhood thinking about what they love. I have friends who are like 26, 27 now, and I'm like, so what do you love? And they're sitting there like, I don't know. I've always done things based on what type of salary it can offer. And I'm like, yeah, well, now look at where you're at. Like, luckily for some of my friends, you're reaching this midlife crisis early, realizing that doing what you were supposed to do stopped you from doing what you really are destined to do. Like, we have a lot of shoulds and woulds here in man's world because man has put so much control on his life because we're afraid of nature. And the way that like we control everything, we try to control everything, yet we really can't control anything. So what happens is we end up putting out less than we actually have because of the clamps that we have. We have leashes that basically leash us to our security, which is our ego, which is all about safety and security. And when you're worried about safety and security, naturally you bring in the principle of avoidance. And anything that you try to avoid, you have to focus on it. You cannot avoid things without focusing on it. So by focusing on the things that you want to avoid, you have half of your energy at least is diverted away from focusing on your goal. And it's our fault. We are teaching our kids to come up like this. So I've been reading a lot of comic books lately because I feel like, one, there's massive amounts of information and knowledge in these comic books. There's a super amount of concepts and principles that we actually want our children to learn right in the comic books. But like you said, we want to look at it and say, this is childish.
yeah.
But there is nothing childish about thinking beyond your wildest imaginations. Orville and Wilbur Wright were childish when they decided that they wanted to fly, and man couldn't fly. Amelia Earhart was childish when she decided she wanted to fly across the Atlantic. Like, these are the things, like, whoever built the Great Wall of China was childish when they decided that they wanted to build a wall that you can see from space. I mean, Lao Tzu was childish when he wrote the Tao Te Ching. I mean, his first line is, "The Tao that can be named is not the Tao." An adult would never think of anything like that. I mean, Even Jesus Christ was acting like a child. Like he was coming straight from his heart, and there were times where his love was sullied, and he got mad at that. But he was literally living as a life of love. Like I tell everybody, there's like there are people out there who want to bash religion for whatever reason, but there's nothing wrong with that man Jesus Christ. The life that he lived was a life of love. That's what he was trying to show. He was trying to show everybody that every step that you take is actually a message. Hence why he didn't write his story. Somebody else felt like writing it. He was writing his story on the earth in real life with every step that he takes. And that's how we all need to operate, but we're too busy with our responsibilities and obligations and that's all ego stuff, to actually really unshackle our hearts and just let it bust loose. Because I mean, there's plenty of space for it. Like space is not distance or area. Distance and area operate inside of space. Space is infinite. So if you have space in your heart, you can fit anything that you want in there, and anything that you want can come out.
Have you read Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose?
I haven't read his book, but I watched some of his videos, and I actually post a lot of his quotes on my Twitter and Facebook nowadays too. But
Well,
it's brilliant.
yeah, I mean, but I think the concept I wanted to touch upon, based on what you're saying, is inner spaciousness. And what Eckhart really talks about is really, focus on opening your own inner spaces in order to open outer spaces, bigger outer spaces. So it all starts and ends with you, basically. And I think what you're talking about is our own limiting belief. And we build up stories in our head. And while Einstein is saying that your imagination is your biggest, travel buddy, and you can go far. And before the hangout, I was talking about The Alchemist, a book that I bought on my way with Angela to Puerto Plata from Paulo Coelho. And on the back of the book, it reads, "To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation." And just to say that, I mean, to me, it's just like I'm listening to you and going like, whoa, 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 once again. But it's true. I mean, I think society builds us to conform, that you are expected to, ... Whereas, if you take a leap of faith, if you follow your heart, if you are into your bliss, if you follow your imagination, but that's scary. And what scares people takes them away from being a child, and that becomes childish. And so then what kind of life do we build for ourselves? What kind of life do we have? Well, I think what you offer is wonderful, and people listening to us, should stop and ask themselves, am I starting my days with that promise to myself? Am I going to bring my best self today? Am I going to realize my dreams every day, or am I just going to conform and pay my bills and then be happy, satisfied? But how far are you going to go with that? So,
Well, I feel like in today's society, a lot of people do not believe that they can do anything but go to work and pay their bills.
Yeah.
Like they don't even see any reason to take the time and really, why are we here? And when I say we, I mean individually. Why is each here? What is the message that the universe is trying to convey in our existence? Because that's really what it is. We're basically just one more note in that music sheet of life, and we have been placed here strategically, just like every note in the sonnet or a musical piece. Every note is strategically placed for a reason, to enhance the piece in one way or another. So for each of us, what is our note, and what is it that we're here to do? How are we going to enhance this song? And I feel like a lot of us don't really feel like we're a part of that. We don't see ourselves as that. We see ourselves as trying to exist. Maybe we're one of the lines and somebody's supposed to come and play on us. But no, we are, each one of us is a note. Each one of us has a sound. Each one of us has a message. And exactly what it is that we're here to show people is what it is that we need to start focusing on. Like I recently put in our business plan that only responsibility is to your passion. And I guess it's the same quote that you just read off of The Alchemist. That is really our only responsibility, and that should be our only obligation, is to our passion. And then once you do that, this man-made construct of money and currency, it follows you. It will literally topple over on you like a big like Jenga pile. Like it will fall on you as long as you continue chasing after your passion. And I mean, there will be that time when you are chasing your passion where things may get rough. And it's because you're going into a brand new, uncharted place. You are cracking this film of reality and going to that place that we like to call beyond your wildest dreams. A lot of us settle, and it's funny, but a lot of us settle for our wildest dreams, not realizing that our wildest dreams are still not to the level of what the universe actually has. What the universe has for us lies in the unknown, and without the actual passion and desire to go into that unknown, we'll never find it. In the unknown is where all of the things beyond your wildest dreams exist. That's the things that we all want secretly, but sometimes we're afraid to get it because maybe if you jump, you're gonna miss the moon. But why are you aiming for the moon? Aim for the stars. That way you'll land on the moon, if anything.
Okay, give me a smile. Oh man, I am so happy, really. I'm going to invite you and other tribe leaders to just be appreciative of this moment of pure bliss and joy. We're living out of our passions here. Each of us, what is our note? I mean, what is our song? Each of us have a special note here, and I think I wrote this down. I'm gonna have to go back to it in the hangout. But you know, typically Copeland, with you, we are getting our plates full of love and a lot of joy coming our way because you are very inspired. And for our friendship and our connection, I just want to say thank you for being such an inspirational leader for everybody out there. And whatever we do you are always going to find me in your path to help you and help you grow and help others grow because you're going to change the world. You are just crazy as you are. Don't stop.
I don't even know how to stop anymore. I actually took the brakes and threw them out the window. I figured that if I ever need to stop, there'll be a big enough wall that will stop me. But as far as me hitting the brakes, I don't think I'll ever do that again.
There's no such thing as stopping when you are aligned with your purpose. So, on behalf of the HR Rockstars tribe, I want to say thank you, my friend. Until next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.